Have you ever woken up and before your feet has even hit the floor, you are already scanning the landmines of the day? You're looking at, okay, I got the microaggressions over here. I have the racial gaslighting over there. Oh, the discrediting of my work over here. The miscrediting of my work over here. This conversation over here that's really patronizing, but then I have to present myself so as not to be perceived as too aggressive or too hostile. Like all of these things are happening before you even put your feet on the floor. The day-to-day trauma that Black women leaders experience, that brown women leaders experience, was like being on the battlefield. Hey, welcome back. My name is Ashe, and we are continuing the conversation on Burnout Ain't It. We have talked about how burnout is the cover story and harm is the source. So today I'm bringing you two powerful phrases that capture and express and reveal what it is that Black and brown women leaders have to navigate on a day-to-day basis in the workplace. Now, burnout refers to some stress, but it does not capture the harm that is done. Look at the definition by the World Health Organization that defines burnout as chronic workplace stress that is not managed successfully. Chronic workplace stress that is not managed successfully. So yes, it points to the stress, but it doesn't point to the harm. It actually places the responsibility on you and does not put the accountability on the structures or the stresses that actually create this harm. Listen, I have had the honor to work with phenomenal business leaders across the globe in the last 25 years. Diverse leaders doing wonderful things in different industries. Black and brown women leaders who are just brilliant, who are strategic, who are innovators, trailblazers, doing miraculous things, leading organizations and businesses. You can tell I love it. I love it. And yet, in all of this, the one thing that they keep coming back to me quietly asking is, what is this exhaustion, this fatigue that I'm feeling in my bones that I really can't name? And then they tell me that they think it's burnout because they don't have the language for it. And they say, you know what, Ashe? If it's burnout, I've done it all. I've done the resting. I've done the resetting. I've taken the vacation. I have the meditation apps on my phone, actually 3 if you want to really know. I have the timer on my computer so I can get up and walk around and stretch. I've read the books. I've activated the principles in these books, and yet nothing begins to touch or resolve what it is that I'm experiencing. And then they would ask me, what is wrong with me? Why aren't I able to navigate past this? Why aren't I able to resolve this? And they made it about themselves. And I just knew, I was like, okay, we can't continue to do this. I knew burnout was not capturing what it is that these phenomenal, brilliant innovators and trailblazers were actually experiencing on a day-to-day basis. And so I dug in, and I'm bringing you two phrases. You ready? The first phrase is racial battle fatigue. Sit with that for just 10 seconds. Racial battle fatigue. Researcher William A. Smith gave us this language in the early 2000s to help us define what it is that Black and brown women leaders have to navigate through on a day-to-day basis. And he intentionally pulled from battle fatigue and also combat stress because his research showed that the day-to-day trauma that Black women leaders experience, that brown women leaders experience, was like being on the battlefield. And so William A. Smith called this out and said that this takes a toll on the body. Now, your body may not say, I'm on a battlefield, or maybe it does, I don't know. It actually may. And your body may not call it out as danger. It may use terms like microaggression or discrimination or harm, maybe all of those things. But the fact of the matter is that you are in a situation where you are navigating a racially hostile environment. And it may show up as headaches. It may show up as abdominal pain. It may show up as insomnia. It may show up as hypertension. It may show up in so many different forms because you are enduring this on a day-to-day, moment-to-moment, hourly basis, all while, wait for it, delivering high-quality work, okay, with a smile. So this is the language that William Smith brought to us. Then Dr. Renata Chancellor took this and deepened it by bringing it into the conversation of what is happening with Black women leaders in academic and workplace spaces. And her research paper is titled, "Work Should Not Be Killing Us." Hello, work should not be killing us, and I could not agree more. Her research continued to reveal that the toll of racism and sexism and isolation and racial microaggression and racial gaslighting impacts us on such a deep, profound level physically and physiologically that it cannot be ignored and should not be ignored. So when we talk about racial battle fatigue, that is the language that we have to describe what it is that Black women leaders and brown women leaders contend with, wrestle with, navigate with on a day-to-day, hour-to-hour basis. And that language, if you hear it, is much more clearer and much more on point than burnout. Are you ready for the second framing? Let's go. Race-based traumatic stress. Dr. Robert Carter of Columbia University brought this language to us in 2007 when he produced a foundational model that captured what Black and brown individuals experience in academic spaces and workplaces. What is so important about this model is that it positions what we experience as an injury. And that is so key because an injury asks, what was done to you? Who did this to you? So when I go and I think about my Black and brown women leaders who are my clients and who are asking me, why aren't I able to overcome this? Why am I not strong enough to deal with this? We are not looking at it as an injury. What they're doing is they're looking at it from the paradigm of burnout, okay? And that burnout puts that responsibility on the individual, okay? It cleanses the harm, it erases the harm, it sanitizes the harm, and it actually does not hold the structures or the systems or the individuals or the environments accountable as it should. And this is what I've been working with my clients, and it's made a world of difference. The language that we use is so important. And let me tell you, it hurts my heart when I see phenomenal individuals taking on a language that does not reveal, that does not express, that does not bring honor or dignity to what it is that we do on a moment-to-moment basis. So here's what we're doing right now, okay? We're calling it out. Our first step is we are going to release the language of burnout. And we're going to use the proper language and the proper terms, that language that calls it out, that language that points out the harm, that language that calls for accountability, that language that says you are not the problem, but the systems, the structure, the people, the environment are. So are you ready? Let's do it. Let's live at the level of our language, because you know what? You deserve, you more than deserve language that honors the work you've done, that honors what you navigate, that honors the trauma you experience, that honors the stress that you experience, that call out all that we do and experience. Burnout ain't it, y'all.